Hi everyone, it's Justin here with Voices for Voices. Thank you so much for joining us, whether you're here in the United States or any point across this beautiful planet we call planet Earth. Thank you for joining us, whether you're watching, you're listening, over 100 countries, over 1,000 cities. Let's make that 300 countries. Let's make that 3,000 cities. And let's help those and reach those at least 3 billion people or more. I know we can do it, and we can do it because of you. You can reach out to 25 of your closest friends, let them know about the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. We would greatly appreciate that. If you're able to, you can donate. We are a 501c3 nonprofit charity. You can do that at lovevoices.org, lovevoices.org, and lovevoices.org. We take that money and we continue to spread awareness and stories and events about mental health. And our grand goal is to help pay for mental health services for those who are unable to pay, but they are seeking that help. And again, none of this is possible without you. So thank you for allowing me to live my dream to be able to help so many people. Uh, it's truly remarkable. So just the other day we had Groundhog Day, and for those in the loop. We had a little bit of mixed messages coming from the Groundhogs, especially living here in Ohio. So Punxsutawney Phil is the main attraction, the main groundhog in Pennsylvania, and Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow on Groundhog Day in 2026. So, what that means is there will be at least 6 more weeks of winter. Now, if we turn our sights to Ohio, Ohio has a groundhog as well. And Ohio's groundhog is called Buckeye Chuck. And Buckeye Chuck did not see his shadow, and that predicts an early spring. So not six more, not 6 more months of winter like Punxsutawney Phil on Groundhog Day and Pennsylvania saw his shadow, which in theory means we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter. And Ohio with Buckeye Chuck predicts an early spring, and he did not see his shadow. So I thought I'd throw that in there for a little bit of trivia that uh, we've gone through the last couple days. Uh, Now these are just a little bit like folklore and myths that uh, they're not true to the T and to the I. Uh, so there's percentages, and I believe the percentages are much higher for Buckeye Chuck that matches when he sees the shadow or doesn't see a shadow. And that's uh that's different in Punxsutawney Phil. That although Punxsutawney Phil in Pennsylvania is the main attraction when it comes to Groundhog Day, the percentages are much lower of the prediction of more winter or less winter to come. So a little bit of, again, a little bit of trivia. So thought we'd throw that in there. That's, this time of year. And maybe you follow, maybe you don't. I know in schools, they spend a good part of their, at least with the younger children, they spend a good bit of their time on Groundhog Day talking about Groundhog Day, about groundhogs, uh, what uh, if they saw their shadows the last couple of years or not. And so we thought we would talk about that. So a little twist. Uh, so on to more self-improvement. So the self-improvement that we're talking about here is circulation. So circulation helps blood flow throughout our body. When there is a lack of circulation, it can cause uh, blood clots. It could cause a lot of health problems. And I am reminded of a time in my life where, and for some of us, this is a daily occurrence, but this isn't a point in time. Uh, so for me, wanting to appear thinner, to be thinner, uh, we look at the size of clothes and think, oh, well, I wear a smaller size, that'll make me look thinner, more attractive. And more for the looking thinner for me, many years ago, I was on this, I don't want to call it a binge, but it was a point in time where I I was seeing people around the office and they looked much more athletic and fit than I did. Uh, Now I went through a pretty good stretch of working out in the gym and those kinds of things. This was a time where I really wasn't working out a whole lot, but I also wasn't eating a whole lot. And so I was purchasing clothes that were probably at least a size too small. And that includes shoes, pants, shirts, you got it. And what I now realize is part of the anxiety I had at that time could have been the lack of circulation, less circulation of blood throughout my body because I was trying to find and wear clothing that was, again, in some instances too small, but I wanted to have that look of, again, the look at me. And so I thought for self-improvement, it was not only for me, but it was for others to see, to think about. And with hindsight being 2020, I was doing just the opposite. So my circulation was more restricted because I was purchasing and wearing pants. They were too small. So cutting the circulation around the midsection. And so that just added to less circulation in my body. And so that wasn't self-improvement. So what had started as kind of like a quest to self-improve, like, oh, look, like I can wear those smaller sizes as well. And for a guy, it's just totally it's a little bit out there, right? Say like you're a guy and you were doing that. It's like, yes. Sometimes there's less of an explanation of what we're doing, why we're doing it. And so it was negatively affecting my health in a way. Not to the point that I needed to go to the ER or anything like that, which if I did, I probably would have been told that maybe you should wear more comfortable clothing and not worry about what others think or what they may not even notice it. Again, this could all just be, a mentality in my mind. And that self-improvement was um, really the opposite. So I've noticed over the years, the more comfortable the clothing I have on, it's one less thing that I really have to worry about when we're talking about self-improvement, about comfortability, right? So if we have the highest blood flow that we can have for us as an individual, that's a good thing. When we have lower blood flow, when we have lower blood flow, that could turn into, health problems with everything we're wearing is too small. And the easy thing is like, well, yeah, Justin, just just get a bigger size. Well, a lot of it again was in my mind, in my head. And so it took a while, a good long while. And that may have been a little bit of a precursor to my mental health, taking a taking a drop like a roller coaster going down the hill of increased anxiety. It's kind of like the old saying, keeping up with the Joneses or whatever name we want to use. It's like, well, I want to keep up with the people that are looking fit. And so that was what I thought would make part of what would make me happy. And it didn't. It really didn't. In fact, it made me more uncomfortable. Even with shoes, I was buying probably maybe a half a size smaller. Same with the belts. Maybe a half a size too small. And so when we talk about these things, this is this is one thing in a vacuum where we're looking at, but we're able to see how it can affect other areas of our lives. When we have anxiety, at least for me, I steer clear of certain things. I want to just be comfortable. And some of that may mean skipping different events, not going to. I have an extra anxiety in large groups. I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas and thoughts out there. So where we think that we're, keeping up with the people that we're seeing on social media, uh, that's a point in time. It's not an entire life. And so with the clothing being too small, trying to impress people that probably don't even recognize, don't even see that aspect. If you're at the office, maybe a person or two may mention something, may think something, but for the most part, people aren't. It kind of goes to the whole giving a presentation, public speaking, one of the most dreaded things to do is to get up in front of people and people we don't know at that. And we go, oh my gosh, they're watching us. They're they're seeing this. They're hearing how many times I say and like and so and all these I'll say filler words when in fact we think about ourselves when we're watching a presentation, unless it's for a grade, extra credit, a topic that we like. I know for me, sometimes I zone out. So it may look to the presenter as if I'm watching and listening, and my mind could be so far away. And so when we're up, when situations are flipped, and we're the ones giving the public talk, whether it's the one person or 1 million people, how many people are actually watching and listening? And so I just got used to the fact of I'm going to do the best I can with the tools that I have. Am I going to make mistakes? Oh yeah, I'll make a lot of mistakes. I'll make a lot of mistakes. But that's okay because we're being ourselves. We're being we're being I'm being Justin. I'm not acting or trying to be somebody I'm not. And that's where the tight fitting clothes, uh, less circulation, give us a bout of anxiety, additional anxiety. So it comes down, who do we want to be? Do we want to be ourselves or do we want to be like somebody else? Now, we may pick up traits and things we do, But I think God put us on this earth and why we're still here is to be ourselves. He doesn't want every single person to be somebody the same. He wants us to be unique. He wants us to be ourselves. And that's the good, the bad, the ugly. That's the pinnacle, the summit of a mountain, a valley, includes all those things. And what do I say? It is okay. Who cares what other people think? If we're being ourselves, we're being authentic, we're being genuine, who cares? Now we know that we do care what people think. But going back to giving that presentation, how many of those people are so thoroughly watching and listening to you and I give a presentation? And I'll bet you that the number, the percentage is much lower than what we have thought. So we might as well be ourselves, not worry about what others think, and live a life of us being unique, not of us impersonating or wanting to look for approval. I've been there. I've been there a lot looking for approval. The look at me, look at me, look at me, look what I did. I did this one thing. I did it great. But there's all these other things that aren't great. Look at me, look at me, look who we interviewed, look who we had on the show. I still have that complex, whatever the the proper terminology is of that. But that's me. And the more that I'm learning about myself, again, it's me, Justin Allen Hayes. I'm being myself. So what I'm saying, what I'm recommending is to be yourself. Have self-improvement that you want, not what others want, not what you think others want or think. Be comfortable, be yourself, be safe, and you will achieve great things. So until next time, let's celebrate all the voices of the world. And until next time, please be a voice for you or somebody in need. We'll see you next time. We're sending love your way. Whether you're a believer or not, you can never have too many good vibes. We'll talk to you on the next show. Bye bye.